Hi, welcome to Storytime at Maida Elementary School. It's our open house night. I'm so glad you're here. I'd like to tell you tonight a story that I've prepared for you about Marisol. You know, we've talked about her before. She's an adventuresome and very curious 5-year-old. She lives right outside New York City, and her grandmother lives in the city. So every Sunday they have a promise that her mom and Marisol, they get on the train right into the big city and visit Nana, her Nana. Well, this Sunday they got on the train, ran and went to the apartment, and there all the people were outside. Nana took her out there with them, and she said, "What are they all doing?" And she said, "Well, they are making a garden. This empty lot has been over here with all this trashy stuff, and we are cleaning this up, and we're going to make our very own garden." So she watched everyone work. She saw Mr. Ortez picking up things in the garden and throwing them away. She saw Mrs. Washington with a shovel, who was saying to herself, mumbling, "I'm going to plant what my mother used to plant, greens and sweet potatoes and black-eyed peas." And Mr. Chu said, "You know, I would like to get this tire out of here. It's such a mess, so I'm going to roll it over this way." And Mr. Ortez said, "I'm going to flatten all this earth so that we can get these seeds in here even, and they'll have a chance to grow." Mr. Fitzgerald had a pickaxe, and he was really using that. That was a little scary. Well, they continued to just work all afternoon, and Marisol looked up at her grandmother, and she said, "Nana, I really need to plant something too. Everyone's planting something." She said, "My dear, you're too late. There is just no room in this garden." And so Marisol just really wasn't used to taking no for an answer, so she looked all around, and she found a little dirt outside the fence in the cracked sidewalk. So now she had dirt. What was the next thing she needed? She thought, "Oh, I need a seed." So she looked all around. She couldn't find a seed. But down the street, Mrs. Garcia was feeding the birds seeds. She ran up to Miss Garcia. Mrs. Garcia said, "Sure, dear, you may have a seed." She runs back to her little hole in the sidewalk, plants her little seed, pats the dirt on top, and she has the beginning of a garden. Well, it took a couple of weeks for them to get back to see Nana. And when they came back, there were little green leaves in the great big garden in the lot, and there were huge leaves in hers. And there were 2 sets of leaves, 2 sets of over here and 2 sets over here, and a bud on top. She said, "Mr. Ortez, what do you think I have planted here?" She said, "No one knows, but it sort of looks like Jack's beanstalk." She laughed and she said, "Oh, she knew better than that. She knew that wasn't true, but she couldn't figure it out." And she went home that week, and she thought and she thought and she thought, and she just couldn't wait to get back to Nana's house. Well, when she did get back, it was the best Sunday ever. She could see down the street before she even got to the building that there was this huge, round sunflower growing. Yes, she had planted and she had grown, and she had been part of the Garden of Happiness. Not only that, she had the happiest flower in the Garden of Happiness. Thank you for listening. I enjoyed being here. I want you to look for surprises in your life. They are certainly there.